Well, hello all my beautiful friends. Welcome into my channel. My name is Jackie Alves and welcome to my beautiful makeup studio in Arizona where I live. It's called the Beauty Bar for obvious reasons. It's quite beautiful. And today I am going to be talking to you about contouring our faces, but not just our cheeks and foreheads, actually talking about that contour of eyelids. You know, we talk about eyeshadow shapes or eyeshadow styles, eyeshadow trends. We talk about, oh, I have hooded lids. What am I supposed to do about that? I've been hearing a lot of like, I have fat pads in my hooded lids. Like, so, you know, it kind of is quite puffy up there. That's pretty hard to deal with. So let's talk about those things, some really crepey hooded eyelids, lots of wrinkles. And you're like, Jackie, I really love your shimmer on your inner corner, but I can't play these reindeer games with you. So let's talk about all these different styles because you guys, I've been a makeup artist for over 30 years now. So I promise you, I have done makeup for face after face after face of real women who have real skin issues of all ages, all shapes, sizes, and skin tones. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. So today I'm gonna start with really great skincare. I already did. Don't forget to start with your SPF product, whatever you like. I use an SPF of 50, especially on my nose. You guys, I had a skin cancer removed, pretty big one, about a year and a half ago. And I have to be really careful, even though the cancer's gone, now the scar can get really dark, red, it'll turn brown. So I have to be real careful. And, real careful that no more of those ugly things rear their flipping head on me. Oh, okay. Got real good skincare on. I'm gonna put on a little bit extra eye cream. You know what, come to think of it, I put some on this morning, but it's been a minute and it's a little dry where I live in the desert. So dry. Putting on a little eye cream. I like to make sure I'm good and moist under the eyes so that when I do concealer or foundation, I don't always do concealer under my eyes. Sometimes I use a lighter shade of foundation. But having that moisture under there is super key. I'm gonna come closer so you can see. These are great lights I have here, but a lot of our subscribers, a lot of my friends out there are like, Jackie, you don't have a single wrinkle on your face. Well, it's because I have like 9 zillion volts on me right now. You couldn't see anything on my face. So, I even have to do the makeup darker on camera so you can see it. So trust me, the struggle is real for all of us. None of us get out of this life alive. And we all have to battle with gravity. All right, so let's talk about what am I exactly doing today? I said contour eyelids, right? Well, I've been doing makeup for so long, I see things differently. All right, guys, I'm gonna put on a little bit of primer while I'm talking. I just have an all-in-one primer. This is a great water-based primer. It goes with every foundation. You guys, I swear, you can depend on this one. It's really great. It's not like a grippy one. It's not a silicone base. It's water-based, so it's got a nice velvety finish to it. And I like that. I like anything that's velvety. But anyway, so I've been doing makeup so long, I see faces different than maybe you even see your own. I see dimension. So you say hooded lid, I see that it's flat from your brow to your lash. You say round face, sometimes I see cheekbones. Oval face, sometimes it's real flat right here like I am. Sometimes people have a huge forehead like me. Could land a plane on this sucker, I always say. I remember a lady, when I was like only about 30 and I was working for a cosmetic company in the mall at that time, and one of our regular customers came in and she was complimenting my skin. She was definitely in her probably 80s. And she was like, oh, Jackie, I love your skin and you got a nice flat forehead. And I was like, what? How's that a compliment? I have a flat forehead. And now being 50 and, having some wrinkles and some weird stuff going on, I'm like, oh, I remember the days of having a flat forehead. It's amazing what kind of compliments we get from people. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hop over into my foundation. I'm just gonna use my most favorite matte foundation, and I'm gonna work with a couple of different shades today because we're doing contouring. I'm gonna show you how to contour everything. So, when you're working with eyeshadow, it's even contour and highlight method that we use. So think of contour as like shadowing. Let's go back to 7th grade math class. Did I just say math? Why am I like this? I meant 7th grade art class. Whatever. 7th grade art class, you know, we were talking about a lot of like, where's the sun? What part of the fence is it hitting? And where's the shadow? All that kind of stuff. But think of what you shadow on your face is what you're trying to push away from the attention. What you highlight is what you're trying to bring to the attention. So what do you want to bring to the attention, right? What do you want to be featured on your face? Well, your prettiest features probably if you got high cheekbones or nice lips, whatever. But okay, I'm starting in the middle with my foundation and I'll move quick. You're like, yeah, right. Oh, you guys also, when I get to the contouring part, it'll be a little ways in. I'm gonna start just adding dimension with foundation. So if you wanna just press your finger on the screen, so you can fast forward to that part, it's okay, because I'm gonna go through a little bit of a makeup tutorial before we get there. You guys, I'm a natural teacher. I love teaching makeup and not just showing, these are my tips and tricks. I like to teach you how to put on your makeup. So I go through a little bit of a lesson every time. But if you've been with me for a while and you're like, I've seen you do this 1,000 trillion times, it's okay, just fast forward to the contour part. But I don't want you to miss this part where I'm talking about dimension. Okay, so think about, you know, what parts we're gonna bring to the attention, but think about that in terms of eyeshadow. So if you've got a hooded or puffy lid right here, you wanna put that darker shade in your crease because you're trying to push that away from the attention. So maybe underneath your eyebrow and maybe your bottom lid, you wanna highlight to make it more obvious. Like, cause maybe your bottom lid's pretty hidden from, you know, the hood, hidden from the hood. I don't know. Anyway, so you wanna bring that out. But you know, if you have a really crepey eyelid, you may not want to use a shimmer to do that like I typically do. Okay, lightweight layer of foundation. I'm gonna go back with a lighter shade of foundation. So the one I just used is the matte foundation in the shade Natural. That's the shade I like for my whole face. But I'm gonna go back with a shade called Alabaster, and you've probably seen me do this a lot. This is also in that matte foundation I like. But you can do this with any foundation, you guys, whatever you like. I don't care, like use what you like. But I'm gonna go with the lighter shade right under here. And this is just foundation, not a bunch of cakey concealer. So that's a bonus. I'm gonna get it on my eyelids and just real light under my eyes. I don't like to cake product under there because we'll go back later and do concealer. And again, if you don't like concealer or it's too stiff or too cakey, you can use your foundation under your eyes. Like, you know, the makeup police are not gonna come get you and say like, boo, that's an illegal use of foundation or something. Neglect of the concealer. Like, you're not gonna get popped for it, I promise. You can do what you want. Like even under my eyes, if I need to correct darkness for myself or a client, sometimes I'll just use an orange or a peach lipstick. That's like a nice moist formula. I don't have to use corrector. I don't have to get all the things. Oh, so if you're new to my channel, maybe you don't know, welcome to the channel of no rules. We love to fly in the face of the beauty industry. So with that said, I've got my foundation on and I put a little bit of a lighter shade through the middle just to add some dimension. So I'm kind of like bronzed up a little around here and lighter through the middle. But not a lot. I didn't cake on foundation. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of powder. And again, I'm not gonna get cakey and wacky. I just wanna set it a tiny bit. This is a really nice, just translucent powder, really comparable to like Airspun by Cody. Remember that one? It's back with a vengeance. Everybody loves it like it's all brand new. All the like teenagers are like, oh, I love this new Airspun. I'm like, yeah, well, so did my grandma. She literally used to sell it. But anyway, I digress, as usual. Just a little bit of powder. But with the channel of no rules, you guys, I want you to be aware. I love Jafra Cosmetics and I've been working with them for almost 9 years now. But say, for example, I use a Jafra foundation because I love them. I want you to use whatever foundation you've got. If you love CoverGirl, if you love Maybelline, or if you love Lancome Absolute that's, you know, $75 a pop, I don't care. Use what you like, okay? Because this is not about brands. I have brands that I love and I know you do too. So let's talk about how to put on our foundation and what formula it is, maybe. Not particularly about the brand, unless you just want to know, and that's okay. All right, I'm going to go into my powder contour now, but I'm going to go a lot deeper than I normally do. I try to keep it lightweight and, you know, easy to learn, easy to apply, but I really want you to see the dimension and the contouring of the face, and then we're going to talk about the eyelids, okay? So I'm going to start with the lighter shade of contour. This is just a powder contour palette, and this is just my brand. I have some of my own stuff here at the Beauty Bar for my students because I also have an academy, but you can get a powder contour palette just about anywhere, even a drugstore, and there's some really great ones out there. If you happen to have a favorite powder contour palette, will you please share in the comments what you love so that our friends can see what you like to use, and also so that I can. All right, I'm gonna go right underneath my cheekbone here and bring it forward. Now, you guys, I just did a private lesson with a new friend yesterday, and she was shocked at how simple this was. And she said, I never thought of it like that. So darker toward the hairline and fade toward the nose, just like this. But what's happening is I'm scooping my cheekbone. So remember what we said about contouring, we're pushing back because I wanna highlight this because I have a flat face. Okay, so if you've got really great cheekbones, or if you've aged quite a bit and you've lost some volume in your cheeks, or maybe you lost a lot of weight and you have high cheekbones and it sinks in a lot, don't contour like this. Just bronze up on the cheekbone, okay? Because it's gonna make it go deeper. If you contour, remember, contour, the darker shades are gonna push it away. I'm gonna just keep doing this for some reason. Push it away from your attention, and then what's left will naturally be highlighted or brought to the attention, okay? I really feel like Bob Ross, and I am often called the Bob Ross of makeup. And I've shared with you before, my clients and our subscribers usually call me the Bob Ross of makeup, but my students sometimes call me the Gordon Ramsay of makeup. Welcome to Hell's Makeup Studio. That's pretty horrible. No, I'm not really mean to them. I'm just kidding. I promise I'm kidding. You can call them. They love me. All right. Now, a little up by the forehead. Now, what's gonna happen is I'm trying to bring down my forehead because remember I said you could land a plane on it, and I don't want a plane on my forehead today. So I'm going to bring my contour down. Now, if you have a short little forehead or, you know, low hairline, low hairline. Yeah, you know what I was just thinking. Apple bottom jeans. Horrible song, horrible. But it's one of those that it'll never leave my brain. Okay, so I'm bringing my contour low. Now, if you have a low hairline, you don't wanna do that. You wanna keep that contour up a little bit higher. But what happens is in the shape of a half moon or a crescent is left behind a little bit brighter because I'm trying to make my forehead look shorter, okay? Now, up under the cheekbones, I just used that really nice, light, kind of neutral brown there in the middle. You can see I use it a lot. It's all smeared everywhere. And now I'm gonna go under my jaw. This is important, you guys. I did a great video on jowls and like a sagging neckline and jawline, which can drive us crazy, right? So I'm gonna show you a trick that I did in that video. This is really great. I'm just contouring my neck first, right up underneath my jaw here, okay? Bring it down, like so, okay? Pushing away. Remember, I don't want you to notice this. I want you to see this and be like, oh, she has a fabulous jawline. Okay, so now with my jowls, now I have small ones forming here. If you have larger ones, don't crack on me and be like, you don't even have jowls. You don't know the meaning of jowls. I struggle with the jowls. My middle name is Jowls. It's okay. You can still use the same technique. Remember, I do lots of other faces. I just show you on mine. I don't have many friends that are going to get on this camera and let me do their makeup for you. Actually, I maybe have 2. I have a lot of friends, but this is hard for women to get on camera. So I'm going to go right here. Even if I had a lower, more sagging jowl, just a little half moon. Not obvious. I'm not trying to make a brown half circle on my face or anything. I'm just shadowing it to sharpen up my jawline. Now, if you've already got a sharp jawline, get it, girl, get it. And don't do this because you're already sharp. All right. So just pushing all of that away right here and right here, just trying to shade it a little bit. That's all. All right, now I'm just brushing around to make sure I don't have any weird stuff left behind on my face. Now I'm gonna go with a little bit deeper brown. Check this out. You don't have to do the deeper step, but I always start with the lighter one because then I can sort of fade in that second shade and add that dimension. And it's not so consequential. It's not like, and there's that dark spot. And just fade it in and deepen what you've already got. Okay, now go to the other side. This morning I came in and I was thinking about a conversation I recently had with a friend about the movies that our kids are watching and the things, you know, that are on TV and how horrible it's getting. And I was laughing because we always say that after we're grown up, or, you know, I'm a totally different person than I used to be. I used to be an alcoholic almost my whole life. I've been sober for almost 12 years now. Jesus saved me and healed my body, changed my life, and I'm a completely different person now. But when I think about the movies I used to watch, that's where things can go horribly wrong. You know, I'll be like, oh, it's such a good movie. And then you go back and watch it once you're a different person, or even once you've just grown up and you're like, oh, I can't believe that I watched that. Or with me, I'm like, I can't believe my mom let me watch that. So example, I was singing some theme songs or some songs from the album. Remember, all the good movies had a soundtrack back in the 80s? I was singing songs from Flashdance, and I was thinking of What a Feeling. And so this morning I wanted to dance because back in the day I wanted to be a dancer like the woman on the movie Flashback. Remember, she was a ballet dancer, like the whole movie was like her trying to deal with life and get into that fancy pants ballet school. And just deepening all the same places I did contour. But you know what, now that I go back and think about it, I was like 10 or 11 when I first watched that movie. And I wanted to be that woman when I grew up. Like, she was amazing. She's gonna make her dreams come true. And she was gonna, you know, do the things. And that's why What a Feeling was so inspirational. And then I go back now and I'm like, she was a welder and a stripper trying to get an audition at a ballet company, and she slept with the guy who got her the audition. Why did I want to be that when I grew up, and why was that okay with my mom that I watched that movie? I was like, I wanted to be a stripper welder that became a ballerina, apparently. I'm just like, oh my Lord. Like some of the scenes in that movie. Okay, I'm gonna go to blush right now. Now I'm gonna use a peach color. I like to mix pink and orange to make peach. And I'm gonna put it right inside of that contour. Now we're gonna do the same thing with eyes, and you're gonna love it because I'm gonna show you a way to adapt it. Even if you have crinkly lids, hooded lids. I've heard my friends and subscribers say I have fatty lids. So puffy upper lids. We're gonna talk about how to adapt for all of that. You know how when you take an aerobics class or something, or Zumba, you can adapt? And I always have to do that because I have scoliosis. I have a really bad back. So I have to like adapt all the moves. I'm that one in the back who doesn't jump, and I just stand there and go like this when everybody's jumping. That's me. Anyway, I digress again. There's my blush. I'm gonna put a little bit on the tip of my nose. Now let's get to that eyeshadow. Let me grab a couple things. I'll be right back. All right, I have the eyeshadow palette to end all eyeshadow palettes, you guys. This is one of my own. This is the Beauty Bar Signature Soft Glam palette, one of, you know, mine that I have here at the Beauty Bar. And I like it because it's got our classic soft glam shades in it that we use here, like for, you know, our brides or special occasion makeup people or whatever. But I'm gonna start with this cream, like white shade here, a big fat eyeshadow brush I got from Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna smooth it on. I'm gonna get the entire eyelid. Now let's talk about if you have a big fat hooded lid, or if you're like a couple of my friends who said I have crinkly, wrinkly, crepey eyelids, maybe you don't want to highlight, because what's happening right now is I am highlighting my brow bone and I am highlighting that bottom lid by putting this lighter shade. So you may want to, for your base shade, which is gonna be your lightest shade that you're gonna choose, you may wanna go with something a little closer to your skin tone. If you have deeper shade skin, anything that is closer to your actual skin tone, so it's not highlighting that area, but it is just creating a nice base shade for you because it prepares that area with powder, so the next shades will blend really beautifully. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this second shade right here. This is a warm shade, of course. And then I'm gonna use the dark brown for my third shade. Now I could easily use the pink, and that orange, believe it or not, is really pretty on. Don't be fooled by what you see in the palette always. So I'm gonna take that orange. Let me come really close, okay? So if you have a really crepey lid, you're gonna wanna stay away from shimmers, okay? Because that can kind of accentuate crepiness. You could put a little shimmer up here right under your brow to pop the brow bone. If you're like, but I really want shimmer, that's not fair. There's just different places you can put it, okay? When you go to your second shade, like I'm doing now, when you have a severely hooded lid, watch. I'm gonna start down here by the lashes and kind of create a triangle here or a wedge shape, and it fades toward my nose. But see what happens, it disappears. And then you're like, I have hooded lids and nobody sees my eyeshadow. Oh my God. Bring it up, you guys. Every time I do an eyeshadow tutorial, which is pretty often, I encourage you, bring that second shade up. And don't worry if you're getting a mess down here, because we're gonna clean it up later with concealer. And that's why I always tell you, trust the process. Trust it. Trust me, trust it, trust yourself. All right, bring it up, up, up. And see, I do a lot of patting motion. I don't swirl it and throw it all over my face. I just start placing the product first, right where I want it, just popping it in there. This is the pop and plop, just plopping it on there. Super technical verbiage, I know. I would never ever make it in the presence of some of those super snobby makeup artists who know all the things. All right, now it's gonna fade toward my nose, but just keep bringing it up further than you think. Remember what I said, that darker shade is contouring, it's pushing it away from the attention. Push it away, okay? That makes it look like you have a crease right there where you don't. Okay, and then we can go back and highlight under the brow if you still need extra dimension. But this is working really well for me, even with all this ridiculous eyelid. Okay, so don't worry if you're getting out of bounds here. We will clean it up. All right, and don't get too caught in your details. Like, see how it's just not super blended there? Everything comes together. I promise when you just commit to getting to the end, and you'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh, that really came together. I really should trust the process. I'm gonna do the other side. Quickly, quickly. And bringing it up. All right, you guys, I'm gonna finish up this second shade. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm still gonna just work on the second shade a little bit. I switched to a fatter brush, and I wanted you to be able to see that. I didn't want to do like a behind the scenes, make it look perfect, and then you're like, wait a minute, how'd she do that? So I want to show you, I had to switch to a little bit fluffier crease brush. That other one was just getting it too concentrated, and I really wanted it to be more blended. So I just swapped over to a fatter brush, that's all. I think that other brush would be great for my last shade because your darkest shade, which I'm gonna switch to right now, this darkest shade, I want it to be more concentrated, a smaller area. So I'm gonna go along the lashes again, almost the same thing, but a smaller area. You can bring it up a little bit higher than you think though, just like your second shade. And see, it's, you know, it's a little sloppy. It's okay. This part really doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure it's fading and kind of smoked out, okay? See, I have a disaster under here, but it's okay. We're gonna clean it up. Okay, right here at my lash line. Now just fading it in. And I'm not even using my magnifying mirror at this point, you guys, so I don't know if it's not looking great, but it really is part of trusting the process. It doesn't have to be perfect at this point. I think I've said that so many times already, just in this video. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get to the end. Okay, I feel like I have the other eye a little bit darker, but that's okay. I really love for you guys to see the makeup in real time, so I try to get it all accomplished while we're here together on the video and not cut and do it behind the scenes. All right, that way if I make mistakes, you can see that because you might make mistakes and not know how to clean them up if I don't show you. Okay, I'm gonna swap over to this tiny little smudger brush and take that same brown and just put it underneath. Just halfway over, okay? Especially if you've got a hooded lid, you don't wanna close it off, okay? Want to make sure you can see. All right. Oh, I did go over a little too far on this side. There we go. Okay, so definitely you could darken your brows, do your mascara and lashes, and leave it like this if you have a super, super hooded lid, okay? There's no need to do eyeliner if it's not gonna show at all, okay? It's okay, you can just release that. If you still feel like you need a little bit of something darker on your lash line, you can go back and do a little bit of that dark eyeshadow right along the lashes here. And really, you guys, I can't see this very good because this is not a magnifying mirror. So if you don't see great, it's okay. You can just go right along your lash line. You can feel that where you're putting it. So just let that lash line be your guide, okay? I feel like Jiminy Cricket right now. Let your conscience be your guide. I think it's conscience, whatever. Okay, so I am gonna hop over into eyeliner right now, but I want you to remember if you've got that big kind of heavy or puffy, I've heard people call it like fatty upper lids. I don't wanna call you that in case that makes you uncomfortable. That's just what I've heard them say themselves. But you know, if it's real puffy here, just bring that second shade up higher and I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed my eyeliner. I wanna come in close so you can see this part. So I'm lowering my voice because I'm coming close. All right. See how I'm doing the fat triangle on the outer corner? Now I call it the fat triangle because that's literally what it is. I'm making a fat triangle and it disappears halfway in. I hope you can see that. Now that just keeps it a little obvious. It gives you a little point on the outer corner. So if you have a hooded lid like I do, you don't need to go all the way across unless you just like to, but you can get away with doing a little fat triangle on the outer corner. It's much easier to manage as well. And I'm just using a pencil, not even a fancy liquid eyeliner, okay? I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I'm back. I'm gonna do a little bit of mascara. You can see I've got my fat triangle over here on the left. And it matches my fat triangle on the right, so mission accomplished. All right, so a little bit of mascara starting at the roots, pulling it to the tips. Now, I really encourage you to try a mascara that's got a silicone wand on it. It really gives some lift and separate to those lashes. Now, if you have a severely hooded lid and hardly any lashes, just try to at least get the tips of them with something smudge proof. Don't struggle too hard with the things that you really can't make a big difference with. That's what the highlight and contour is about. Push away what is not great about our features in order to enhance what is good. So we push away that middle lid there, where you don't have a crease if you have a hooded lid, and we highlight the other things. So, if you don't have great lashes, it's okay. We're highlighting the good stuff, and maybe you're like, I have this hooded lid and I've like no lashes. Well, we're gonna do some eyeshadow, and then maybe we focus on your beautiful cheeks or accentuating your lips, whatever it would be. So I'm gonna do the other side real quick with some mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I have my mascara done. I deepened my brows, of course, because I've got that permanent makeup that never fails. I get a ton of foundation on and it's like they disappear again. So I gotta bring those suckers back to life. But let's talk about brightening up that inner corner. Now remember, I said if your inner corner doesn't even show, or if it's crepey or hooded and you're like, no, I don't have an inner corner, or no, I hate shimmer, it's okay. Just leave it the way it is. Remember, we talked about how to either leave it matte or even use a little bit darker shade in there to bring that crease shade all the way over. You don't have to leave it light and bright in the middle corner if you don't want to accentuate that area, okay? But if you do, if you've got a little bit left like I do, and like my friend over there in the corner of our camera has left too, that's my friend Denise, who is here at the beauty bar with me. Anyway, pay no attention to her, it's about me. So I'm gonna go in and take some of this shimmer. It looks pink in the palette, but it's really like a nice bright shade. I'm gonna just use my ring finger to plop a little right in there. Yes, plop is the technical term. Don't judge me. Check that out. See what a difference that makes? And if I open my eye, you can still barely see it, but you guys, I'm not always like this. Sometimes I look down, sometimes I raise my eyebrows and I look very suspicious. But you can see that pop of color right there if I do. So I don't expect to see it all the time because I know that I have this crazy hooded lid, but I still like how pretty it looks. So, even if it's not gonna show, or even if it does accentuate your crepiness and you don't care, you're like, I don't care, I want shimmer, then just do it. Remember what I said, there's no stinking rules. And anybody who tries to tell you makeup rules, tell them that you don't play those games. And then, come back and turn on one of my videos again. So I can remind you, there's no rules. All right, I'm just going to go back and make sure that that shimmer is blended really well. So there's not like a defined line where it ends. Just blend, blend, blend like a maniac. Oh, and speaking of that, so when I came in and I was listening to Flashdance, remember we were just talking about my big fat ode to Flashdance. Of course I had to hear, she's a maniac, maniac. And that's a tribute to my kids who hate it when I sing maniac. So, enjoy. So anyway, blend like a maniac. Now I'm gonna go to my lips, you guys, and we're gonna talk about contour for lips. I know, it sounds really weird, but remember what I said. Trust the process. Also, it's almost like we're at 7th grade art class right now. I'm gonna get this darker shade of lip liner. Here we go. This is actually called Nutmeg. This is also by Jafra. And it's like a matte lip liner. It's a roll up, but I really like it because it's super stay put. And I'm gonna do a darker lip liner because that's almost like a form of contour and highlight. When your lip liner is darker and then you highlight the middle with a lighter shade of lipstick, it makes your lips look a little more plump and defines them really well. So I started at my Cupid's bow. I am, of course, overlining. And the line is a little sloppy right now, but I don't care. Okay, now I've got a good layer of that nutmeg on, but I want to go in with another lip liner, and this one is a nude lip liner. This one's also by Jafra, but this one is a sharpening liner. And the reason why I'm using two is because when you have a sharpening liner, you can get a very sharp tip. So I can drag it through that lip liner and through the cracks or the little lines in my lips. And really sharpen it up. Now you don't have to use two lip liners to do this same type of makeup that I'm doing, but I just really like the way this works together. All right. Several passes back and forth. Because if you add a lot of product like that, it's really gonna build it up and stay put for you. It's not gonna bleed into those little cracks like it might normally. And now, check this out. This is a form of contour. What happens is we are contouring the outside, and the middle is going to stay lighter and brighter. I learned this trick way back when I was 17 and I was doing makeup in Las Vegas at Glamour Shots. And it was a great trick I learned from a woman who was African American. Her skin was very deep, but her lips were like a lighter shade, much lighter than usual. And she showed me this trick, and man, it was beautiful. Let me find my lipstick, you guys. I'm so blind without my glasses on. Give me just a second, I'll be right back. All right, I found it. It was in front of my face as usual. I'm gonna be using this really cool liquid matte lipstick by Jafra Cosmetics. This shade is called Rosy Kiss, but it's not matte like it's really stiff and feels gross and crusty on your lips. I actually say that these feel like butter, like velvet butter. So it's a little bit lighter than the lip liner. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of concealer right to the middle. To brighten it up even more. Now check that out. That's kind of a little lip plumping tip. Now I'm gonna go into concealer. I normally do this in a different order. I would have done the concealer already, but I wanted to wait till the end to show you a couple of tricks with it. So I'm gonna use this concealer that is a couple shades, couple shades lighter than my foundation. This is a liquid concealer. This is my brand, the Beauty Bar, but very comparable to this one would be, Tarte has one called Shape Tape, and they have a creamy version, so that's a great recommendation for you. I think Urban Decay's got one that's real similar to that, and even Elf has one that's super affordable. But I'm gonna take a little bit of that concealer and put it here and here. Now remember, I told you we were gonna clean up the eyeshadow, but apparently I wanted to get a black streak on my cheek. What the heck? All right, let's get back to the eyes. And just gently patting and feathering. And now I'm gonna slice my eyeshadow. What's happening here? Not only are we cleaning up the eyeshadow, we're giving a lift by highlighting. Again, with more highlighting. Pretty amazing, right? So all of the different shades that we're putting on our faces, right even to concealer, you can use to add dimension and to highlight or contour with. To add to, take away, bring attention to, all the things. Now I'm just laying this paddle brush flat and patting it through. I don't want to pull and yank because that's just going to cause creasing. Check that out. Isn't that pretty? We'll do the other side. Now, remember what I said though, that you can use foundation for this. You don't have to use a stiff concealer like this if it creases on you real bad or if you just don't like the way it feels. I'm bringing it all together and now sweep. And I'm cutting that eyeshadow up to the end of my brow. If you're not sure where it should cut off. The end of your brow, and then just patting it in like the other side. You should always make weird faces when you're doing your makeup. I think the weirder the face, the better the makeup will be. I don't know if you guys remember one of my earlier videos. Someone cracked me so hard for doing mascara with my mouth open, and she commented, "Close your mouth, you look so stupid." And I was like, oh my God, like, the whole planet opens their mouth when they do mascara. Why are you so rude? But I don't know, maybe she was just angry. Who knows? All right, look how good that looks. Now I'm taking my blush brush just to back blend it a little bit. That's nice. So nice. All right. Looks really pretty, but remember I told you we were gonna do something else with some concealer. Now, say for example, you're like, Jackie, I'm wrecked. Like, I didn't get a good lip liner. What am I supposed to do? You can clean it up. And even if you don't have to clean up, you can still add some lighter concealer to these outer areas. And what happens? It's highlighted. So it brings even more attention to that lip line if that's what you want to do. God, I feel like I got this one way bigger than this one. That's a first. Usually I'm pretty good at my lips, but man, they're crooked today. Ask me if I care, because the answer is no. All right, now, since we're talking about highlight, I'm gonna use a highlighter really fast. You don't have to do this part if you don't like this, but I've got that beautiful shimmery gold highlighter, and I'm gonna use a giant fatty fan brush. You can use a small fan brush. And I'm just gonna take a small amount and add it to my cheek. Ooh, so shiny. Tip of my nose, you don't have to do this either. I just really like it. I think it's pretty. I have clients who love it and clients who hate it, so it's definitely personal preference. And sometimes women even highlight the areas right here above the lip, sometimes the chin, and if my collarbones or shoulders are sticking out, sometimes you can highlight there. So highlighter is really, what do you want to bring attention to? If you've got beautiful collarbones right here or shoulders, you may want to do that. If you don't necessarily want to highlight it, you can even add a really pretty glitter to it. So this is just by ColourPop. And I know you might not be able to see it on camera, but holy cracker jacks, it's really pretty. And you can just add a little bit of glitter to anywhere that's showing, including your cheeks if you wanted to. I like this one on my cheeks because it's got some stars in it, and it reminds me of the skating rink. It reminds me of when I used to get to wear lightning bolt stickers on my cheek right here, those glitter stickers. God, I miss those days. All right, I'm gonna use some setting spray real quick. And today I'm just gonna use the Jafra Beauty makeup spray. This one has coconut water and aloe, so it's more gentle for your skin than like an all-nighter or something, you know, that's like super matte, all night wear it till next week kind of setting spray. Don't talk when you're doing it, it's bad for you. Take a minute to breathe and feel bougie. Okay. Now, I'm gonna take these clips out of my hair. If I can get to them without yanking out what little hair I have left. We talk about thinning hair a lot on this channel. And I've been getting some really great tips from some friends on how to grow your hair after you start losing it, how to thicken it. But I'm gonna need how to get a hair clip out of your hair, please. All right, now let me take this one out and see if I have better luck. Jeez, I think I just lost 15 hairs, and at this rate, I can't spare them. Oh, one more. I'll think twice about using these suckers. Okay, here we go. And I don't often brush my curls. I just use my fingers and that helps them last longer. But today I'm gonna go ahead and brush through because I need them a little more calm. It's very windy outside. So I'm gonna calm my hair down so that when I go outside, then it won't be calm anymore. But if I go out with it ratted and sticking out everywhere, it'll just make it worse. Okay. There we go. So nice. Let me get some hairspray. All right, it's a day for Big Sexy. It's a big sexy day. Especially if it's windy. All right. You guys, I hope that you learned a few great tips today. And if you've got a hooded lid real bad, make sure to try a false lash with this look. I just did a false eyelash video that talks about different styles and types of false lashes, so check that one out for sure. I'll make sure the link to that video gets dropped in the description of this one. So if you want to check out some lashes next, you can, because I really suggest lashes with this look. But I wanted to show you some options without lashes in case you're like so many of our friends that can't get them on or don't like to wear them. You can still rock this beautiful look. But with a hooded lid, a false lash is really going to be your friend, because I would say it's like a claw that holds your hooded lid up. So I hope you had a great time today, because I sure did. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And you guys go check out my members area. I've got some great videos over there, hair videos, skincare videos. But all this month, I'm gonna be doing some great behind the scenes and skincare videos for you. For example, later, I'm gonna be in my members only area showing my routine to take all of this off. So go check that out. You can join my members area for as little as $2.99 a month. And it helps support what I do here on this channel, myself and my fabulous son, the editor, who keeps my videos looking hilarious. Thank you. And thanks you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I love you so much. Bye everyone.